Allah SWT. I pray that God allows this video to reach you in the best of health, highest of spirits, and purest level of faith. Recently in the town hall meetings, I was really watching it thinking, I'm so happy I made this video the week before, because it kind of proves what I was saying, is that your voice really does matter. And watching these kids and their anger and their fury just come alive, and just having discussions that in American politics we were never able to have before, it really, really reminded me yet again and again and again of why this country is so great. Because sometimes I get lost in that. I get lost in wondering, why did I fall in love with this country? Is it because I so happen to be a citizen? And with the most recent elections, I really looked around and just had no idea what I saw in this country. It was really hard. I'm just like, and even now, I continue to think that I would be better off living overseas. I'd be better off, because you know what? For the longest time for my life, the course of my life, even if I experienced Islamophobia, I didn't really think it was a general, it was almost like a unanimous decision. I didn't think of it that way. I thought, okay, maybe there's one or two bad apples. But when you see someone gain a platform by hating us, it really made me wonder, okay, are all these people that are nice to me at the grocery store really nice to me? And what do they think about me? You know, now it's like I see I see teachers that teach my kids, or I see people when I go to the gym, I see people at the mall, and I look at them and I wonder, what do you really think about me? Do you want me to be here? This is really strange. It might not be anything, but like whenever I go get my eyebrows done, the lady always tells me, like, can you like move your thing, or your thing is in the way? And she always refers to my scarf as the thing. Like, God forbid she says your scarf, you know, because there's no way you don't know that this is a scarf, you know, just like little forms of Islamophobia just kind of creeping to the surface. And it altered my view of my own country. And I recently have looked at, especially with like Republicans and Democrats, and constantly the parties splitting, and it really feels like divide and conquer, right? And in this town hall meeting, one of the senators, he was a Democrat, and one of the angry students asked, is this country a democracy? And he says, well, if you look at the polls, 97% of the voters say that they do not want guns, which is 100% of you guys. Yet we have guns. So no, this country is not a democracy. It hurts. It does. But it is a democracy because we had a town hall meeting, and we always do, and we always have the freedom of press. And one of the really strong points in the Syrian regime in the very beginning was that as soon as a poet would speak out against the regime would use that person's talent as a way to murder them. And that is what makes us so different. And we can hate Trump, we can despise him. But at the end of the day, and it's something I always knew, he has power. I'm not going to say, and honestly, he has a lot more power than I would have anticipated. Because he's a Republican and the Republicans are leading the Senate. So because of that, he has even more power than Obama did. But at the same time, even his infinite power has a limit. Anyway, my rant concludes now. And I want you to remember always, I want you to always keep in mind of the silver lining, because it is there. Even if you have to squint a little bit, it is there. And that's one, these kids that are a lot older than I am, actually. Now I feel old. The 90s kids are old now. It's weird, right? Like, it's crazy. But they took a stand and they fought, not with their mouths, but with their hearts. And the shakiness of their voice, that's what enticed everyone to listen. Not everyone in the room, but everyone around the world was like, okay. So use whatever tragedy you have, whatever hardship you have, take that and make it ammunition to be the best and to yearn for the best, but more so change. And that's what your voice has the power of doing. I also want to talk to you guys about advice and not how to ask for advice, but how to deliver it. Because ever since I started my YouTube videos, I have been, a part of it is kind of a social experiment, but all of it is because I really need people's advice and people's help. But something I've noticed is that there will be different categories of people. There will be categories of people that will see you as a vulnerable person, and they will say, this person needs help, so I'm going to crush them. Meaning, I'm going to take every single insecurity that they have, every single insecurity that they have portrayed and magnify it and zoom in it, right? And they don't mean to do that. Maybe subconsciously they really mean to help, but they're really not, right? So you have those people. And then you have people that they don't really want to help, but they can't say no. So they'll give you advice that's a basic slogan, catchphrase, like, good job, you're doing it, I'm proud of you, but then there's nothing to back it up. It's just like, okay, well, the same cliche things. But then you have people that will throw you out of the ballpark. And when you ask them for help, they will introduce their critique with encouragement, give you text of what you can improve, but also tell you what they love, and end it off by reminding you to pursue your dreams and reminding you of how far you've come, and reminding you of being proud of what you've accomplished. And then you have people that will make sure and go out of their way to comment or like or DM every single thing that I do, just so they know that I have no excuse to feel discouraged, because they support me. And with all these categories of people, I don't really see any ill intent. Even for the first category of people, I don't think they mean to be like, I don't think they mean to be startling. I just think that they don't know how to, they don't know how to help. You know, it's like, how do I put this? Like, when they help, in their mind, they're thinking, everything I do, everything I tell this person, it's going to, as soon as they do what I tell them to do, it's going to fix it. And they're going to be on the right track. So don't take it as like this person is trying to tarnish whatever you're doing. They're not. They just don't realize that their approach isn't necessarily the best one. So please don't get offended, you know. And for the people that have like the catchphrase, I don't take offense to it, but I have expectations for people because of the expectations I put on myself, which is wrong. But I just don't want to expect that people will do the least for me, because I just won't do the least for others. So that's, for me, that's why it hurts, like, to see people not giving their all when they could be really impacting, and really just giving that boost of effort to make someone feel better about themselves. And I have to tell you that the better you make someone else feel about themselves, I sincerely believe that Allah SWT will uplift your status in this life and the next. I want to take a second to really, 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 really thank a few people. I want to thank Rachel Salman. Thank you so much. May Allah SWT bless you in this life and in the hereafter. I want to thank brother Tariq, the producer, the founder of Radio Islam. I want to sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank Alexis Swadalewski for just being that friend, that hope for me, for constantly lifting me up and encouraging me and telling me to dust off and move forward. I want to thank, oh my God, I want to thank Hassan Sayed. He has so much on his plate. He's a med student. And he still does everything he can to support his sister. And you know, I have to tell you, I know Hassan from back in the day, from Benedictine. And there were a few brothers that I really looked to for counsel, that I really looked to as true brothers, and Hassan is the prime of these persons. He's really as nice as he seems, which is crazy because that doesn't exist anymore. But alhamdulillah, I've been able to find those people. And Ashley, I don't remember your last name, from Simple Foods, something like that is her Instagram. And she has also, she doesn't even know me, but she always has shown me encouragement in whatever way that she could. These are a few examples. Extreme highlight. Thank you to Brother Tariq though, because this guy, he's kind of a big deal. I think so, right? Yeah, just a little bit. And he took the time. Not only did he give me like advice, but every time I like, whenever I message him on LinkedIn, he gives me like step by step of what he thinks I should do and bullet points and what he's impressed with and what I could potentially improve on. And one thing that he told me the last time I booked him for help, and I'm really going to leave you alone, I apologize. He said that a tree takes 5 years to build strong roots before it grows and becomes one of the tallest trees. I don't know. He said it in a quote, and if it wasn't a hadith, then I'm really embarrassed. But I really held on to that and I clung on to that. So it's just a few ideas of what I think about how you should give advice. You know, please keep in mind that when this person is giving you the amana of your opinion, it's so important that you value the person that you are speaking to. And it's so important that you take the time and just be that encouragement for people, because if this person is not going to pay it back for you, not literally, but in whatever way in the dunya, then just remember that this life is but a path. And I hate to think of it this way, but it's true. We're all going to die. And if this person outlives you, or if you outlive this person, you will be able to tell their stories. And at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do as human beings. We're all travelers on this earth, and we all yearn for that legacy, right? That's what we want. We want a legacy after we die. We want people to remember us as kind, as loving, as compassionate, as people that were supportive. We don't want, we don't want people to remember us as like the bad apple, the Grinch, we don't want that. And every time you act, just pray that you live as true Muslims and you die as shuhada. And yeah, that means martyrs.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock